Hey everybody, I have a seriously exciting video for you on some drugstore shadows that are new, that are amazing, that I just love so much. And I'm going to tell you all about them. I'm going to show you swatches. I'm going to, show you even a little tutorial thrown in on how I got this look. It's going to be exciting. If you love Milani, and if you've been using it for several years, you might remember when they had these singles. These were a very popular thing in the makeup community. People thought these were amazing quality eyeshadows, and they were, and then they got discontinued. These have been out of stores for a while now, and then Milani came up with their baked shadows, and these are great and these have their place. I mean, if you like the really, ultra metallic look you can get when you wear something wet, which is what baked products are great for, wearing wet or dry. So they had these, but these really weren't anything like these. And now a new powder eyeshadow has surfaced in the Milani world, and I have 12 shades to show you. The company sent me these to try, and I would like to say that the last Milani review I did, I reviewed a bunch of their new products that they sent me for just new 2012 things, and as a whole, I mean, it wasn't a lot of positive feedback that I was giving on some of those products, but yet they sent me more to try, which I thought that's interesting that they would, possibly subject their stuff to another negative review. But it's not the case here because I really, truly love these eyeshadows, and I'm glad I'm going to get the chance to show you the collection in its entirety in this video. When I was trying to map out how to do this, I sort of divided up these shades into 3 different segments just for swatches and talking about them and whatnot. One is going to be kind of like overall matte neutral shades, shimmery or pearl neutral colors. Then I've got bright colorful colors. You're getting a lot of product here. You're getting 3.1 grams. If I compare that to a MAC shadow, in a MAC shadow you get 1.5 grams. So there's the comparison. Lots of product that you're getting. The thing I initially noticed, when you get something new and you want to dip your finger in it and swatch it, it's incredibly pigmented. Matte shades are, shimmery shades are. These are not overly flaky, powdery, like you stick your brush in it and excess product is going everywhere. It's like, could you just stay on the brush, please? Thank you. Shimmery shades, you may have a little bit of extra, I won't say dustiness, but it's a little extra product there when you tap your brush. Because the pigmentation is so fantastic, that doesn't bother me. When people see a flaky shadow, they're like, am I going to just put that on my eye and it's all going to fall all over my cheek? That's not an issue with these. The staying power with these is impeccable. I went out to a graduation party last weekend, and it was kind of an outdoor thing, and I was sweating. It was in the 90s outside, and I had these eyeshadows on, and I mean, I was like getting sweat coming like from my eyebrow, I don't know, in my eye, that stingy feeling when sweat gets in your eye. Yeah. These eyeshadows held up, and I was like, I'm putting them to the test on this day, and I've worn them multiple times, but I mean, that was the situation where I thought I can really, see how this goes. They still lasted wonderfully well. Also, blending application is great with these. Something I noticed was that, you put on a matte shade, and sometimes matte and shimmer don't always live together well in the same eye look, just because one doesn't always blend flawlessly over the other. And you're going to see when we get to the tutorial, it's spot on. First off, these shades that I've sort of dubbed the matte neutrals, we have a white shade called White Lie. It's very, very pigmented. It's a very full-on opaque white. Then we have French Vanilla, which is, as you look at the two side by side, you can see it's just a little bit more off-white. It's going to be more like your creamy shade, just a little less of that stark white intensity with French Vanilla. Then this next one, it kind of got looped in with this bunch for me just for the purposes of doing this video, but it's called Brownstone, and I would say this is maybe more of a satiny finish. You can just see as I hold it here, see how the light kind of catches it a little bit more, but this is a great brown, and it's overall, I mean, it's not going to look shimmery on your eye whatsoever, so you're talking kind of a medium to deep brown, I would call that. And then you've got pitch black. This is an amazing black. This is as black gets. This is a black that goes on much easier than MAC Carbon. This, I would say, if you want that one matte black shade and that's all you want, and you don't want it in a palette, which I know Wet n Wild will give it to you in palettes, and I love that. And I'm not knocking that in any way, but sometimes you just want that one color. And I would say this is the go-to matte black from the drugstore. Hands down, this is dark as night. I just love this. Overall, with these matte colors, they go on beautifully. I've done a full kind of matte look, and I thought, oh, this looks so classic. These are very opaque, very pigmented, and I can only imagine, with the amount of pigmentation like this black one has, I can only imagine how long this is going to last me. Moving on to the shades that are a little bit more like your pearly, shimmery neutrals. We've got a shade called Pearl, and this one's just gonna have, you know, that little bit of luminosity. It's not like, you know, iridescent or anything like that, but this would be what I would call a classic highlight shade. It's not overly shimmery, but I mean, it does have, just as the name implies, a pearly quality to it. I love this shade called Tickled Pink because it looks pink, but the light starts to catch it, and it has the most beautiful golden shimmer in there. It's a wonderful pink color. It's great to work into any look, just for, you know, something a little different than your typical cream brown, you know, golden neutrals and things like that. This shade called Gold Dust is gorgeous. I am wearing that in my look today. It's a nice, beautiful, non-brassy gold. Next one's called Caramel Brown. Your classic kind of shimmery brownish taupe type color, I would say. Definitely a must-have. This could be a standalone color. I mean, you put this all over your lid and into the crease and you're out the door kind of shade, or, you know, you combine it. And within this little chunk, three that I've put together often have been Pearl to kind of brighten up my brow bone and my inner corner, the tickled pink shade all over the lid, and then Caramel Brown for a soft crease shade. These are the types of shades that can be great overall shadows because they'll catch the light where you want it to, like on your lid, but then when it's shaded, it looks darker brown, just like that. Now the colors, and for the colors I have, let's see, I have a couple that are shimmery and a couple that are matte. First one is called Just Perfect, and I love that name because this color is absolutely gorgeous. Wore this not too long ago, and what I love, look how it looks blue, and it catches the light totally like a jade green. So it's a really pretty, shimmery, bright, pigmented color that I love. Next one is called Purple Shock, and this isn't going to be the most bold purple you've ever seen, just by the shade. I mean, you're looking at the shade here. This is like kind of almost like a soft medium violet color, but what's interesting about this color is that it has kind of an opalescent shimmer to it. It's not flecks of sparkle. None of these shades have flecks of glitter in them. If I say shimmer, it's just kind of like a pearliness that definitely hangs together. You know, it's not like flecks and chunks of glitter flying out, but this is a very pretty soft purple. Next two shades are your powerhouse bright colors, and we've got one that is a hot pink called Shocking Pink, appropriately named. This is just a beautiful matte bright pink. I mean, if you are in the market for something like this, here it is. If you've been wanting that one, you know, bright pink eyeshadow shade, you've got it there. It is as intense as you would think it would be by looking at the packaging. And Olympian Blue, this is a shade I experimented with today, and it is flat out matte, beautiful blue, but don't let it fool you. Don't see this shade and think, how can I possibly wear that? Because I will show you exactly how you can wear this and make this a wearable blue eyeshadow for you, and it's gorgeous. I want to tell you what my favorites are, and this is totally a personal thing because I know you may be sitting there thinking, okay, well, I just need a matte black. I'm not really into the colors. But I'm very interested in having that black, or you know what's missing in your own collection. So I'm not trying to like push these off on you or say you must have these because I like them, but I just tell you what one that I think are great. I really like White Lie just for the fact that it is a drugstore white matte shadow that looks exactly like you think it should look. Like totally matte white, and I've used that actually around the inner corner where I've been kind of strictly shimmer for a while, and it's actually kind of cool to go around it with the matte, so that's nice. Pitch Black is absolutely phenomenal, off the charts, black as night, as I said. I mean, it's wonderful. Big fan of Tickled Pink for the fact that it is unique. If you've kind of thought, maybe I want to try pink, but I'm not quite sure if I can do it, completely wearable, guys, because it shimmers to a golden state that is very flattering and very, very pretty. I also really enjoy caramel brown because it is a brownish taupe that's extremely wearable and can be worn on its own. And of the colors, the one that I think I like the most has got to be the one Just Perfect, because it is kind of shimmery. It could be bluish, it can be greenish, it can look beautiful this time of year for a summery fun look. And I gotta say, this Olympian blue is growing on me as well due to the look that I created with it. Here's how I did this, just real quickly to show you how these perform. I took Olympian blue with kind of a small flat brush, and I just applied that on the outer part of my lid, and you can see the color packs on beautifully. I wanted to see, you know, really put it to the test. How does a shimmery shade kind of overlap and interact with a matte shade? And so I took gold dust and I patted that on the inner part of my lid and sort of just slightly pulled it over on top of the blue. Then I just took Olympian blue into my crease a little bit more, smaller crease brush. You've got a lot of control with this. I overlapped the blue with this caramel brown. When you do that, it's kind of like the brown is the more visible color with just, as you look forward with just your eyes open, but then you have that peekaboo effect when you look down and you've got the blue on. And then finished it off with gold dust as the highlight, just lightly under the brow. Then I lined my eyes, liquid liner on top, a little bit of Urban Decay 24/7 on the outer part of the lower lash line, smudged it a bit, and then went over that with more of the blue just to kind of tie it all together from top lash line to bottom. Put on some mascara and you've got your finished look there. So that pretty much wraps up my review on these shadows, guys. Again, I think it's an outstanding product that Milani has put out. It reminds me a lot of those shadows that we knew and loved from years ago that got discontinued, but these really have great quality. You're getting a lot of product in there. It's going to last you a long time. I like that, you know, they give you some colors for the people who want some great colors, but you've also got some wonderful classic basics that I think are well worth the $6 price tag to throw in your collection. If you're a fan of drugstore shadows more in palette form that are great quality, look to Wet n Wild. The thing about these is that they're a little less powdery, a little less flaky. Even though Wet n Wild is highly pigmented, these are just a little less flaky as you stick your brush in them. So that's my observation there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.